everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be talking about the Venus-Pluto aspect in Synastry. So what's the Venus-Pluto aspect in Synastry? So without wasting much of your time, I've talked about the meaning of Venus previously, where I talked about Venus being about love, romance, beauty, material things, values, and all that. While Pluto is about transformations, obsessions, attachment, mystery, also talks about secrecy, talks about dominance, control, power. Yeah, a lot of these things related to Pluto, and also talks about recreations like rebirths and destructions and all that. So that's exactly what the Pluto means. That's exactly what Pluto means. Now, when Venus and Pluto comes together in synastry, it's one of the most powerful connections, I mean, powerful aspect to have in synastry. If it's not the powerful, I can say it's one of the powerful synastry aspect to have. Yeah, so because there's this sort of attachment it creates, there's this intense chemistry it creates between partners. Like the Venus Pluto aspect in synastry create this kind of connections where partner they feel these intense connections. Yeah, they feel this intense connections, and these intense connections grows as time goes on. It grows as time goes on. Like before you know it, it becomes something in which they find difficult to let go of each other. So that exactly explains how it is. Now, how does this Venus Pluto aspect comes? How does it happen? It's like two people meeting each other somewhere, some way, somehow, and then it just happens that there's this powerful aura because Pluto is a very powerful planet, and there's this powerful aura that surrounds them. Like they feel this chemistry, like something that they never felt before, like something you've never felt with someone else before. That's exactly you feel this intense chemistry with this person. And the thing about the Pluto is that the Pluto is about obsessions, attachment and all that. So in most cases, you find the Pluto persons, I mean, in some cases, let me not use in most cases, in some cases, you find the Pluto person doing the chase, like wanting to get the Venus person at all costs, doing everything they can to get the Venus person at all costs. And this can be good for some people who love the chase, and this can be exhausting or draining for some people who doesn't like it. So the chasing thing, the obsession things, it frequently happens with a Venus Pluto aspect. So and the thing about this obsession thing is that it makes the Pluto person become so much very attached to the Venus person. And in my journey of synastry studies, in my journey of studying synastry, I've discovered that in most cases, I mean, sometimes it happens that the Venus person becomes could be the obsessed person, and another way it could be the Pluto person who can just be the obsessed person. Like it goes either ways. Sometimes it goes either ways. The Pluto person can be the obsessed person. Sometimes it could be the Venus person. So it's not really certain to say the Pluto person is always the one doing the chase. So in continuation, like going forward, then it also create these things like when partners feel this attachment towards each other and this chase and all these things. One thing I did observe is that one person it makes it the relationship can become so create some kind of obsessions where one person become so much into the other person, like wanted to know about what the other person is doing, wanted to know about their life, their day-to-day activities, everything. They want to really have control. Like it can create some kind of things like for example, a developed person may see it like a kind of like showing care and love, but sometimes as time goes on, it could turn up to be a kind of obsessions whereby the Pluto person may want to know everything about what the Venus person is doing, who the Venus person is going out with, what the Venus person is chatting with, what the Venus person is going to do for the day and all that. So It creates a strong presence. Like the Pluto person want to have a strong presence in the Venus person's life, or the Venus person want to have a strong presence in the Pluto person's life. So vice versa, it can go both ways. So and another thing is this. Another thing is that Pluto is about transformations. Yeah, Pluto is about transformation. Now the transformation is that when Venus and Pluto person, like when they come together, based on there's when there's this Venus Pluto aspect of synastry, it creates strong bond, especially when sex is involved. Yeah, when intimate affairs is involved, it creates strong bond between partners. Now, because the thing is that Pluto is about transformations. Pluto is about this binding. It creates this strong binding, as if there's a contract. It creates this contract, especially when you have something with each other. Because in astrology, Pluto rules the eighth house. Pluto rules the eighth house, and the eighth house talks about other people's possessions. That's exactly what it means. Now, Venus is about intimate things, sexual things, and all that. Now, it's safe because I see this Venus Pluto aspect as a very, very powerful placement. And the reason why it's powerful is this because if if you know someone like, or maybe if you're in a relationship, if you're a Venus person and you want to get into a relationship with a Pluto person, it's very important to prepare your mind. You're mentally prepared, like mentally prepared to, before getting into this relationship. It's easier to deal with before getting into the relationship, but not easy to deal with. The after result of this relationship can be draining, or I mean, can be difficult to deal with. Like, for example, like someone, maybe there's someone you have a Venus Pluto aspect with, and then you both start a relationship. And while the relationship is going on, the chemistry was all good together. The moment you have sex, together, the moment you both have some kind of intimate affairs, then it creates this contract. And this contract becomes something in which it lives on in the memory of you both. That's like in 5 years, 10 years time from now, you both will always have those memories. Like even if you both are not together, but these memories of what you share together, what you had together, it will always keep on living in the memories of you both. Like somehow one person will find it difficult to forget or move past, move on from the other person. So that's exactly what this thing brings. Like it's creating some kind of transformations. And apart from that, the sexual chemistry is one thing that one needs to understand. The sexual chemistry of Venus Pluto aspect, one needs to understand that when you have a sexual or intimate affairs, or maybe partners, people will have Venus Pluto aspect, when they have the sexual chemistry, or I mean, these intimate affairs together, it's always powerful, it's always overwhelming, that it looks as if you've never experienced such sex with someone ever in your life. Something like that. Like it will look as if you never experienced such kind of sex, such kind of intimate affairs with any other person in your life. This is exactly how intense the Venus Pluto aspect is, how intense it is. Like the romantic connections you have with this person, you never had with any other person. That's because it's so powerful, it's so transformational. It's like as if this person is going to leave you with something that you're gonna keep remembering all your life. Like it's always gonna be there all your life. It's going to leave you with something. It could be some kind of sexual things, anything romantic, some things like that, that you're gonna keep on remembering all your life. So that exactly explains that part. And the Venus Pluto aspect talks about shared resources. Shared resources in a sense that because the Venus represents material things, possessions. That's exactly what the Venus represents. It represents things like money. It talks about material things, material possessions, and all that. Why the Pluto is the obsession, the attachment, the control, the domineering planet. That's exactly what the Pluto is. Now, when you have Venus Pluto aspects in synastry, it can talk about partners, having a shared resources, like sharing their resources, putting their resources, out. I like this aspect when it's mutual between partners. Like when it's mutual, when both partners are reciprocating the same thing. Like the Venus person is bringing up is giving out their resources, and the Pluto person is also what giving out their resources. I like it when it happened this way. It makes the relationship long lasting. Like it's make the relationship so sweet. Yeah, so sweet. So, but in a case, in a situations whereby this maybe there's one thing like maybe the resources is one-sided, where one person is putting out the resources while the other person is not putting out their resources. It can become very draining and toxic for both partners. So because the Venus Pluto aspect, it can create these things whereby partner wants to like give their whole to the relationship, like they really want to give their whole, give the pour out their resources and everything. And it can also create these things like I want it this person all for myself kind of thing. Like the Venus Pluto aspect can create this I want this person all for myself. Like I don't want to share this person with another person. Like I want this for myself. Like it can create this jealousy, obsessions, and all that. Where the person we always want to have that partner around them, like always want to have them, like want to own them, want to consume them, own them. Yeah, when your partner want to own you, possess you, be like things like that. So this exactly explains the part. And there is this thing about the Venus spiritual aspect. It has some kind of secrecy involved, like secret things involved. I've seen in most cases whereby when there's Venus spiritual aspects in synastry, it makes partners, hide things from each other, like they add things from each other. I don't know, maybe it's because of some sort of trust issues or something, but it's always these trust issues that make partner want to hide things from each other, and this is not safe. This is not safe. So that's exactly that part. And there's also this case of secret affairs, like secret affairs. I don't know if it's in the case of trying to get revenge. Maybe the partner cheated on the other person. Maybe the Pluto person cheated or the Venus person cheated and all that. And they're trying to one person's trying to revenge or by cheating back, things like that. I cheat you too, I mean you cheat, I cheat back kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's also quite common in the Venus. I mean, like it happens sometimes in the Venus synastry aspect, Venus Pluto aspect in synastry. So, and another part is this based on the hard aspect. Sometimes the hard aspect can be exhausting. Sometimes can be exhausting or toxic for partners, especially when it's one-sided. Like one partner putting a lot of themselves into the relationship, giving their body, their resources, and everything into the relationship, and not reciprocal, and not getting the same back in return from the other partner. So it can be exhausting, and it can also result to self-centeredness or a narcissist kind of thing. Yeah, Venus Pluto aspect creates narcissist thing like that. Yes, especially when it's in the when it's at the add aspect part. The add aspect part of Venus Pluto synastry, it creates a narcissist thing. Yeah, and what I mean by the narcissist thing is that partners can just want to have everything for themselves without wanting to share what they have with their other partner. Yeah, things like that. It's just like one partner, one a person, or want to have control over your own possessions. Like maybe the Pluto person want to dominate the Venus person by holding them, owning their resources, owning everything they have, things like that. Want you to control their things, want you to have control over their life, their properties, and everything they have, everything they own. This can be very, very toxic. This can be very toxic, especially on the art aspect. So these are the things that Venus Pluto aspect brings to it. This is exactly the thing. So it's very important to take note of all this. This Venus Pluto aspect can be, the soft aspect can be very, very sweet. It can be very, very nice, so great when partners, tend to, reciprocate each other's feelings. Understand that, oh, okay, yeah, like the love is always intense. The love, so when the love is intense, it's important to reciprocate, to understand that, okay, as I'm here to give you my love, give you everything I have, so I expect you to also show me the same love in return. So that's exactly because it becomes an issue, especially when there's a Venus Pluto oppositions. When there's a Venus Pluto oppositions in synastry, it need a balance so that both partners will be able to reciprocate or understand that okay, the relationship can not do without sharing each other, showing each other the same love, sharing, pouring out the resources and everything like that. So that really explains the Venus Pluto aspect. So it's a very, very powerful placement to have in synastry. So one thing I like to say before coming to the end of this video, one thing I like to say is that before you get into a relationship with someone you have a Venus Pluto aspect with, is before you get into a relationship with a person, it's important that you take note of the values, because Venus also represent values and all that. So it's important to take note of the values, like try to see what values this relationship is bringing or what values this person is bringing to the relationship. It's very, very important, because I've seen in most cases whereby people just get into the relationship, they feel the chemistry, and then they just go in, the sex feels good, the whole thing feels good, and at the end of the day it doesn't work out because they didn't look at the values of that relationship. So you need to see what values this relationship is bringing. Is it really worth it? Is it worth your commitment? So because the moment you get into it, it will be difficult for you to come out of it, because it will always live on in your memory. It looks like a contract kind of connection, a contract binding you both kind of connections. So the moment you get into it, you find it difficult to come out of it. So that's why I say it's safe when if you haven't had any sexual connections with this person. But the moment you have a sexual or intimate affair with this, with together, the Venus Pluto people have intimate connections together. It can be difficult to let go of this relationship. It can be difficult to move on from each other. Like in years to come, you both will always, you know, you know, having each other in mind. So that's it for the Venus Pluto aspect in synastry. So until another time that we bring you more interesting videos, next one will be Venus Uranus, Venus Neptune, and others, and so on. So if you watched up to this moment, thank you so much for watching. Please kindly subscribe to my videos as I've been bringing you more interesting videos on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now. Thank you.